What is an adult problem you were not prepared for? Back hurting just from sleeping wrong. And from sitting wrong, and from doing housework and yard work, and from picking up dogs or kids or whatever life requires. Never reach for anything in the back seat, especially if it is just a little bit further. Oof, I'm only 28 but I've already recognized this several times. I swear I've pulled more than muscles though. I must have rearranged my organs at least once or twice. How often you have to clean to maintain a clean house? Not only clean. Maintenance in general. I just found spot of mold in my garage and have to pull out what feels like half a wall. My husband just pointed out tonight that we have a damn vine growing through a window and is now attached to the living room ceiling. It's an old house, but what the hell? Yeah, definitely kill that thing at the root before it damages more wall. I have the same problem living in a crumbling old house. The problems never stop. The increasing speed of passing years. Having nieces only makes the problem worse. Their age and the perceived number of years passed doesn't align at all for me. That's actually something your brain does. As you get older, your perception of time quickens. In some sense, time literally starts to go faster as you age. Remember how long things took when you were a kid? Edit, okay, I get it now, oh, rip my inbox. I think time goes by faster for me is because I spend too much time working and not noticing about everything else around me. When I do have time to stop and breathe, that's when I noticed a month has passed. Already? I thought that was last week. I am in my 20s. Yup, 2019 absolutely flew by for me. I was working 6 days a week around 70 hours. It all just turned into a blur. Quarantine though has felt like forever, in the best possible way. I know it's terrible circumstances that brought it about, but it's a break I really needed. As much as I would not choose the quarantine lifestyle under other circumstances, I do think that anything that creates the sense of different chapters of life help us avoid the feeling and stagnation and time slipping by to a degree. Moving apartments, changing jobs, starting a new hobby, all of these things help us mark time in a way that's harder in our normal routines, and for me it helps my memories of the past feel fuller and less like a blur. I'm all for keeping the good things going, but I think there is value in embracing the new chapters that come into our lives, and at least learning to look at the things that are positive or constructive about them, including quarantine. Dealing with your parents acting like children. My parents have always acted like children, however as a child I was blind to this. Now as an adult I realize how immature and lost my parents actually are. I realized my mom, I am an only child, was just a big kid herself 20 years ago. What shocks me is that almost everyone's parents become younger when they don't have kids to raise. This includes myself. Adults never actually growing up. Yeah, this. I used to look at 30-year-olds and be like they got it figured out. Now I am 30, I feel as useless as I did when I was 17. A lot of the time I feel more useless than at 17. Because at 17, I had ambition and aspirations. Now I feel burned out at 30, so the aspirations that egg me onwards are gone. Like, the enthusiasm for what's to come is just gone. Edit, I never expected this to be as common a feeling as it apparently is. Thank you for all the words of encouragement. I'm at a bit of a sea change in my life and I'm working through that. I am who I am today through a lot of mental anguish, but I'm slowly coming to terms, personally, that relying on always feeling passion for something may be a bad way to live when you have bipolar 2. I'm learning about being more disciplined, appreciating the present via Stoic philosophy, and meditation. I'm learning to explore my interests more and be less afraid of failure, which has crippled me in the past. I hope everyone can navigate their way through and enjoy happier outcomes sooner than later because later isn't a guarantee. I appreciate y'all. At 17 I was making new friends, was practicing music to get my punk rock band somewhere, was passionate about science and physics and everything space related, was keen on getting into a theoretical physics degree. Now at 30 I'm totally burned out. I have no friends and neither do I know how to make any friends. I live day to day with no passion or ambition. I'm just slowly waiting for time to tick past and I'm just doing my time here. Every day that I get through without any major incident is a good day for me. Deciding what to eat for 3 meals a day 7 days a week. You have to buy insurance but can never use the insurance or else no one will sell you insurance. Duck, using insurance too. I've been fighting for the last 3 months because my homeowners refuses to acknowledge storm damage to my roof. I swear they've spent more trying not to cover the damage than if they would have just fixed things. Advice to other homeowners out there. Never let an insurance adjuster look at your roof before a qualified roofer has. And make sure that roofer is present when the adjuster comes. If their adjuster misses things, they will fight like hell before admitting a mistake. Aging parents. Definitely this one. I still remember being a little kid around 5 or 6 watching The Land Before Time and crying over Littlefoot's mom dying. I cried to my mom saying I didn't want her to go anywhere, and she said don't worry because it's something that won't happen for a really long time. Cut ahead almost 30 years and that time is almost here. I still remember it so vividly, and losing my parents is probably the scariest thing in my life. Seems like time flew by and I'm worried with how quickly it's all moving. Realizing some friends are shitty and you shouldn't be friends with them anymore. This right here. Shitty friends don't seem that bad when you're in high school, you see a bit more of toxic behavior in college, and then once you're in the real world you realize that type of energy isn't worth having in your life. One of the upsides of getting older is that you A. recognize shitty behavior of friends more easily, quickly, B. realize you don't have to put up with it, C. have no problem cutting toxic friends loose. It's quite liberating. D. realizing you don't have many other friends. E. it's hard to make new friends after 22. F. all the friends you have just made work or are just acquainted. Like, what do you do, man? I have all of this going down and I feel lonely as shit. And I have a girlfriend. How many adults I actually dislike. When I was younger, I thought my parents liked all our neighbors, all my teachers, all my coaches, etc. I've since found out that they thought most people were morons, kind of like I do. This right here. I am amazed how lonely being an adult actually can be. After cutting out all the toxic people from my earlier years of life, I am very lonely now. Trying to make friends. Being social as an adult is rough, especially when your friends start moving away or having kids. Yeah, my social circle completely disbanded. We were a tight-knit few, but then one moved overseas to be with the love of his life and the other two moved interstate in opposite directions, and being the introvert that I am, I don't find socializing with strangers an enjoyable experience or an easy way to make new friends. I lost my wife of 35 years. There is no way to prepare and really no way to describe that loss. Sorry for your loss. I lost my 25-year-old brother who left behind his 6-year daughter. Life isn't the same when you lose someone you love. I know it's not the same, but I feel ya. The constant obsessive feeling that I'm fast running out of time to have an enjoyable life even though I'm only in my 20s. I'm 40, that feeling is real and you should listen to it. Do it now, you might not get the chance later. My great-grandmother said that she and my great-grandfather promised they would always take a cruise around the world after they retired. It never happened because life got in the way. But they could have done it when they were younger. Don't ruin yourself financially. But if you can do that crazy thing you always wanted to do, go do it. Make it happen. Edit, let me be clear. Don't run off and put yourself in a bad situation. But if you can stretch yourself and spend a year overseas or build that car or live in that place, do it. Don't put yourself in $100,000 of debt you can't afford to have a good time. That's the opposite of what everyone else says. So much advice about not making rash decisions in your 20s, focusing on your career and settling down. There's a balance, but life is so long, I want to do that in my 30s. If you're never making rash decisions in your 20s, do it more. If you're always making rash decisions in your 20s, do it less. Not being able to sleep due to stress. Yet here I lay, exhausted but wide awake. When I was younger I could sleep anytime, anywhere. Pro tip, if you don't fall asleep within 30 minutes, get out of bed. Otherwise you'll associate your bed with lying awake. Furthermore, you could actually do something. You're gonna be tired tomorrow anyway, so why not do the dishes, clean the toilet or organize your living room? Just any small task for 15 to 30 minutes. You'll feel good because you did it, your bed cools down, so when you get in you have something to be proud of and your bed is cool. This has helped me many times. I've also walked a lot in the middle of the night. Lying awake sucks big time, especially because of stress, but making your home a better place by cleaning and organizing helps a lot. Edit, avoid screens. Edit 2, to those now lying in bed for way too long, just get out of it, eat something healthy, clean your desk or the kitchen counter or give your dying plant some water. Take a small break from lying awake and try again in 30 minutes.